What up, you guys? You tuned in to the GM podcast. Bless you, my friend.
Thank you.
My friend over here just sneezed. Yeah, today we wanted to talk about what it takes to be an American. I think a lot of people nowadays can relate to this. And fill them in, partner.
Yeah, this is another important topic for me because I feel like a lot of people, especially in the days that we live in right now, live in a very ungrateful state of mind. And if you were to step back and see the world right now, it's understandable why people are pissed off, people are frustrated, disappointed. But I think at the end of the day, for instance, you could be mad at your mom or your dad and your brother and sister, but at the end of the day, you say, that's my family. That's still my family, and I love my family. Well, I think America right now should be seen the same way. The things that are happening, first of all, America is America, and it's not America's fault, the land's fault of what's happening, the people who are controlling it. But the point is that this is our home. And just like we would be upset with our families, they get us mad or they irritate us sometimes, but we still love them because, hey, they're our family. That it is what it is, they're our family. Well, especially if you're born here and you live here, then whatever is happening may or may not piss you off, but this is still your home. And it's not the fault of the land that whatever is happening is happening. So, having said that, I'd like to discuss something that really irks me. It really irks me the wrong way when people tell me, when there's been a lot of controversy, we all know that. But when people tell me, well, look at yourself. They're referring to my color because I'm a little tannish. Look at yourself. Or, where do you come from? Or your parents, they always bring up the fact that I'm Hispanic. But let's get one thing clear. I am not Mexican. I wasn't born in Mexico. Mexico has done nothing for me. I could go to China, or I could go to Germany, or I could go to Canada and enjoy and love the people who are there. It has nothing to do with me hating on anybody. But those countries have done nothing for me. Mexico has done nothing for me. So it does rub me the wrong way when people start like, oh, where do you come from? Or remember where you came from. I remember where I came from. I came from Los Angeles. So for me, it rubs me the wrong way because automatically people, first of all, for me, the whole race card is a bunch of BS. It's a bunch of BS because I'm like, look, everybody has it hard. Almost every ethnicity has had something happen to their ethnicities, to their cultures, to their people. So blaming and continuing to blame certain circumstances, and I think a lot of our listeners already know how I feel. It is your responsibility to come out of certain situations. Is it going to be difficult? Of course it is. Have I experienced racism, quote unquote? Yeah, I have here and there. But has it stopped me from doing anything and thriving and being successful? No. So you can use the race card. You can use the fat card. You can use the old card. Or you can use the broken family card. That's on you. I don't use it and I don't believe in it. But before I continue with my rants, partner, do you want to chime in?
Yes, I do. Yeah, being an American nowadays, it's a privilege, honestly. And, being who I am, I don't forget where my roots are from, Like you say, I wasn't born there, nor do I have any type of history there besides visiting and having family, cousins and, family, But at the same time, I'm not close with these people like how I am with the people that I live here at home. And yeah, you know, when it comes to certain people talking crap, saying that, you know, you're Mexican, you should be proud of where you're from. And like, of course, man, of course I'm proud of where I'm from, you know. But it's the reason why our parents left that place in the first place, you know. They know that it's not as good as what it is back home, or for them back home is, you know, wherever they came from. And being here, you know, they have much more greater opportunities. And if it wasn't for my dad, you know, a lot of his brothers wouldn't have came. I would say like 75% of his brothers or 80% of his brothers came over, you know, and they've prospered. There's things that they're not able to do out there that they're able to do here. And for people to take this land for granted, for people to take, you know, the opportunities that they have for granted, it's just a waste. It's a waste, and it's time for us to start changing, start thinking of different perspectives, and to start appreciating where you come from. You know, the rights and the laws that are against us. You know, yeah, it takes a voice for us to change, and it's not going to change overnight. These are things that we have to practice. These are things that we have to put in implementation, and actually start to start presenting it to what we can do to change for our greater good, for our kids. You know, if you want to move to another country, that's fine, you know, and by all means you're free to do that. But you cannot blame the things that have already been played out for you. You can't blame them on situations. You can't play a victim. You cannot be a victim of the things that are not going your way because of whatever's going on around us. So it's time to start changing. It's time to embrace the change and to start using that to your advantage, because you only have yourself to thank at the end of the road. And honestly, if your kids start to realize it at an early age, then they're going to start thanking you for making these changes for them. So it's time to put your feelings aside. It's time to start, you know, implementing the things that are actually going to propel you. And, you know, if it takes whatever it takes, you know. You cannot be this victim person anymore.
Yeah, you made a good excuse me. You made a good point that there's a reason why our families left. There's a reason why I wasn't born in Mexico or Mexico. There's a reason why people of Chinese descent are when they're Americans, they're born here for a reason. Or wherever you come from, there's a reason why your families escaped their countries. Either they were communist countries or they were third world countries. You know, so for me, it kind of strikes a nerve when people like to use look at yourself in the mirror. Yeah, I know exactly what I look like. I don't need to look myself in the mirror. We have problems here in America. We have people who are ungrateful. We have people here in the United States, and this is a beautiful thing about America, that you can represent whoever and whatever you want. But we have people here so disrespectful that they claim other flags. You know, they claim other flags and they spit on the one they live on. Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand. Do I consider myself a patriot? Of course I do. I'm an American. I'm a proud American. And I am also a proud descendant or my history. If my mom and my family came from Mexico, I'm proud of that too. You could be proud of two things. You could be proud of three things. Right. Just because I stand here and say I'm an American, I'm not calling myself, oh, she's white. No, you guys, like, that's ignorance. Like, that's so much ignorance when I hear that. Oh, or you're a sellout. What am I a sellout about? Like, I wasn't born. I'm not Mexican. I'm not a Mexican woman. I'm an American woman, And my background, my family's history comes from other places. For instance, my grandfather. Am I supposed to be claiming that I'm French now because my grandfather has French blood? You see what I mean? I would sound ridiculous because they're going to be like, oh, but there, people would be like, oh yeah, you're not French. You wish you were. You see what I mean? Like, I have a lot of mixed. I even heard that I have Native American from my biological father's side. We have Native American. So it's like, you know, come on, let's be real. I'm not going to claim every single bloodline. Like, I'm American. This is all I know is America. And I'm proud of America. And I'm proud to be free for the time being, because that's a whole nother episode. But I feel like people need to stop being ungrateful, man. People, there's way too many. You bite the hand that feeds you. There's too much of that going on. And you know who's really real, man? My mom. My mom came from Mexico. She's from Guadalajara. And she's like, nah, man, I'm proud to be American. My mom my mom has her papers and everything. And she's like, I'm proud to be an American. Mexico didn't do anything for me. We suffered a lot. I love my country, and it's a beautiful country, and the culture and the food and the people, but it did nothing for us. And so we had to flee. So that's real. She's speaking from a real, like, and I even tell my mom, I said, you know what, Mom, like, that's cool that you give me your real feedback. Like, she's proud of her blood. She's proud of where she comes from, of her native land. But also, too, she recognizes that the country did nothing for her. So if we're honest, like, we just, if we're honest to ourselves, we know that we wouldn't leave. You know that even the most ungrateful, the ones that spit on our flag, the ones that burn our flag, if you give them two options, you either stay here and respect your country or go live in a third world. What do you think they're gonna? Okay, fine. I'll behave. I'll stay here in the third.
That should be happening right now.
Yeah, of course. Because again, when something's handed to you, this is where the morals and your foundation has a lot to do with your upbringing. And when you're handed things, you don't appreciate them. So we were handed freedom. We were handed a great country. We were handed this beautiful patriotic bloodline, or whatever you want to hear, whatever you want to say. But people who are handed things don't appreciate. So what happens? What happens when you don't appreciate? You trample on it, you spit on it, you take advantage and take it for granted. So when it's taken away, then you realize, fuck, I fucked up. Yeah. I should have been a little more grateful. I should have been a little bit more, you know what? I love my country. Right. So to me, what does it mean to be an American? Seriously, like, nobody's talking politics here. This is not about presidents and what party are you from, or no. What does it take to be an American? This is your home. Respect your home. You don't go to your house. You don't go to your house and spit on your house. You don't go take a shit in your house, like on the floor. You don't go burn your house down because something goes wrong. This is our home. This is the land of the free. And I think people, and it hurts me and it saddens me that people don't see America this way. This is the last standing great nation. And people fight. They died to come here. Doesn't that tell you something? Our own families came here for a reason. Yet we spit on it and we talk shit about it and we burn it down. It makes no sense to me. No sense to me. And our own families, our own either brothers or sisters or cousins or aunts and uncles, they like to point the finger in our faces. Oh, you're Mexican. No, I'm not. And I scream it at the top of the mountains. I am not Mexican. I am an American. And yes, my mom and my dad came. My biological father was born here in Los Angeles. My stepdad is from Mexico. My mom is from Mexico. And the rest of my family is too. But here, I was a lucky born American. And I'm not Mexican. Am I proud? Of course, like I said. And you could go, like I said earlier, you could go to any country and love the people and love the food and love the culture and love everything that the country has to offer. But it doesn't mean you have to reap it. It doesn't mean that you have to say, this is, I'm Mexican. That's come on. Let's be real. What do you think about that, partner?
Well, since you said, live out there for a while, I have done that. I have lived in Mexico I lived there for maybe a couple months, but it was really strange. Like, I couldn't wait to come back home, and back home means California to me. So when I stood out there, it was very militant. It was very tyrant. It was different, very, very different. I appreciated living there because it was I stood there with family, and people did look after me, but nobody's gonna look after you like your own family.
Yeah.
And when I stood out there, it was like I said, I couldn't wait to come home, and everything was like, okay, you need to be in bed by like 9. I'm like, why? And they're like, just you don't want to be in the streets around after 9. And I'm like, well, all right, whatever, But yeah, man, you could hear gunshots in the distance, and it wasn't. I mean, you could tell a difference between a firecracker and a gunshot. And of course, being these were like riddles of bullets, and it's just like, whoa, yeah, I'll keep my distance, and I'll stay here for the night, But nevertheless, people are dying because of just stupidity, honestly, and it could be because of politics out there. I'm sure it is, but for the most part, it's because they're not used to seeing, they're used to their own ways. They're used to their own ways. They're used to like running the show, and if you're involved in the crossfire, then guess what? You're another statistic. But yeah, man, I couldn't take this land for granted. I am an American as well, and I'm proud to be one. I'm proud of where my parents are from. I can't ignore the fact that they're from a beautiful place, But again, that beautiful place is ran by tyranny. It's ran by politics, bullshit, And how else can you live a free life, a life that has nothing to do with what's around us, And what I mean by that is like, people telling you what to do, how to fucking live your life, how much you can earn. Like, yeah, man, it's BS, You own a company out there, you pay taxes on top of other taxes that you shouldn't have to. And that's why people don't progress. That's why it's hard for them to get out of a shitty situation. Here, yeah, we pay taxes, but we're not paying, a third party. Yeah, man, it's time to wake up and realize what you have in front of you. And Mexico's one of them. I've heard, from what I hear, Cuba's been the same, if not worse. What's the other one? China is one of them. Shit, I would hate to live in China. But nah, man, you guys, it's for real, man. Like, we weren't given this opportunity to squander, to let it just squander.
Yeah, absolutely, partner. And like I said, I try to avoid the whole politics. That's like, we should make another podcast on immaturity. People cannot talk like adults nowadays. I feel like people are so watered down. People are so weak. They can't take the truth. They can't speak like adults. It's always about fighting. It sucks. But anyhow, I am a proud American, and I love this country, and I will defend my country if need be. And I feel like everybody should feel like that. This is your home. I had a friend of mine a long time ago. He told me, and I will never forget this, and I feel like this is relevant today. And it makes me laugh, but it also it's like a whip of facts. I have a buddy, or had a buddy, who is from Mexico, and he would come here to visit. And I told you this story, partner, and we would always tease him. You know, it was a fun type of tease. You know, it was all fun and games, and we would always tease him. My brother would always be like, "Hey, you're crossing illegally. You got no papers." You know, he would come visit with his visa. You know, it was just for like the summertime or whatever. Yeah. And my brother would always make fun of him and say, "Oh, you're crossing illegally. You know, you shouldn't be here. Go back where you came from." And he turned around and got us good. Like, I was there this day. And he says, "You know what? Yeah, you're right. I might be here illegally, but at least when I go back to my country, I'm a real Mexican, not like you guys." And hey, that's okay. And the point is, he's spitting facts, because he said, if you go to Mexico, you're not Mexican enough to be in this country. Those are facts, guys. But yet here, people who are born here with Mexican descent, they like to use that Mexican card. Wake up, guys, because we're not even really welcome there. We're welcome, but it's like we're not recognized as real Mexicans. Don't you understand? Be proud of who you are, because this country right here, if you were born here, trust me, if it's taken away, you will miss it. You will cry for it. So this is coming from a guy who is from Mexico. He said, at least I'm a real Mexican. Like, this is telling us to our faces, and it's facts. And I didn't get offended. I was like, damn, that's cold. Because we ain't even, if we try to go to Mexico we're not going to get recognized as real Mexicans, because we're not. They know that we're not born from there. They know, they recognize their people.
Yeah, you can see it all over your face.
You can see it all over your face. You can see it all over your culture, the way you dress. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I guarantee you, people, a lot of people from different countries, because it's a fact, you see it every day, they die to be here. They literally will die to be here. They will sacrifice and send their only child for a better life. So we need to stop the whole look at yourself in the mirror thing. Trust me, I know what I look like. Thank you very much. You should be a proud American as well. And that's really all I got to say. I've been wanting and dying to get this off my chest, especially with the whole political movement right now. It's crazy. Do I believe in the political system? Of course not. I think it's trash. Do I believe in this country? Absolutely. I think the people here in this country make it great. All the cultures, because I'm not ignorant. I know that USA is a combination of a whole variety of cultures and countries, and that's what makes it beautiful. It's so diverse. It's so free. You can express yourself. You can practice any religion you want here. You could say anything you want, pretty much, you know. I'm not talking about terrorist shit, but I'm talking about you could say anything. You could practice anything here. You could eat anything. You could build any business, and you could be successful whether you're American or not. You could be successful on this land. There is no land, there is no country like America. It's time for people to be proud of that.
Right. Yeah, here you can talk shit about the president.
Yep.
And not get
your hand cut off.
Yeah, you won't get your hands cut off. You won't get your mouth burned off, washed out with soap, executed. You go to other countries, you talk shit about the president or the leader.
Yep.
They're hunting for you.
Exactly.
But yeah, I got a question for you, partner.
Yeah.
Okay, you said your cousin said that about you guys, but I want to hear it in Spanish.
You know what? I think it would be funnier in Spanish. Okay, so he says. Okay, so I even gotta say the whole slang to my. He says, "Hey," he was talking to my brother. ¿Sabes qué, güey? Yo seré muy mojado aquí, pero allá en mi país yo soy un mexicano de veras. Tú allá ni mexicano eres. And I was like, jeez. And my brother's all, okay, you got me.
That was cold-blooded. Yeah, hey, man, you guys, we like to shut out this podcast with that. You know, these are facts, man. Like, you can't go to other places and think you're hot shit.
Exactly.
So it's time to start realizing what it is that you got in front of you. And, you know, not take advantage of it, but, like, use it to your advantage. We'd like to close that out with this. So you guys be safe out there. We are on the road once again, headed up north, and hopefully we make it back just in time to see our families for Thanksgiving and to spend the rest of the holidays with them. You got anything else to say, partner?
No, that's it, man. I wish everybody a great Thanksgiving 2021. I hope everybody enjoys their dinner. I hope everybody enjoys their families, because let's get one thing straight. Money comes and goes. Family is only one.
That's right, you guys. Peace and love, and happy holidays once again from GM Transport. Peace out.